Oh, look at Jay. There must be some really fancy stuff going down today. You got a big hearing in front of Your Honor today is the way I got it scored.
Bingo. 100% correct.
Anytime, even if it's Zoom, that you have to be in front of your judge, you will never have anything less than a suit and tie on.
That's absolutely correct.
Period.
You want to hear a funny Zoom story from last week?
Yes.
So I go to an expert deposition of a case that's going to trial, and we're literally a few weeks out from trial. And this is an important expert for the defense. And I respect this lawyer. I've known him for a long time. I looked up to him as a young lawyer, but he had one of his associates attend the hearing.
He didn't attend.
No.
Okay.
What do you think they wore?
Overalls.
No, but
That's good. That's close.
I mean, jeans and a shirt.
A hoodie.
Oh no! Hold on. What?
A hoodie.
Really?
Yep.
Did you call the attorney and say, "Listen, Jim, your associate wore a hoodie today for our expert deposition deal"?
I actually did yesterday, and he's a good friend of mine, and he was in the middle of something and he didn't take it well, and because I said, I don't know, was it your associate, your partner? I don't know who it was.
Is it like a Fetterman deal kind of thing?
Exactly,
maybe?
literally, exactly. So I said, I don't know who it was. The person that was in the hoodie. I said, I've never seen anyone in a hoodie. He's like, come on, Jay, it's 2026. And I said, I'm so sorry I forgot my Fetterman hoodie. I still wear a suit to everything. That's what my response was, Bubba. And so...
Someone said that was a response. It's 2026. Like, give it a break.
Yeah, it's 2026. And so about 3 hours later, because I said, whoa, I said to the guy, I said, look, I'm just joking around. It's one of those things. I don't care what your people wear. But, I said, that's why I tell my son to write a joke, to speak a joke, not write a joke. I said, because not all of mine hit. And he laughed at that. And I'm like, okay, listen, I've known the guy forever. I said, give me a call. Clearly, we're going to go to trial. 3 hours later, he calls me and apologizes. And now we got some
settlement talks.
I don't know about that. We have some things going on. And,
So hold on. It's 3 hours later. He thinks about it. He incubates. And now you guys at least probably have a more positive direction of conversation than you did prior.
He and I, yes. And he and I have always had a very good, open relationship, a very joking relationship, because I've known him for literally 30 years. And it ended very well. It started with...
Have you faced him before?
I've faced him many times before. And so, he started with, I apologize. I was in the middle of something. I probably shouldn't have taken your call, but I really want to speak to you. And so we had a very productive conversation, and I have nothing to say but positive things about him. But my comment was, I'm still shocked. Still shocked that someone would appear in a hoodie for, if it's my expert, I'm doing this for their expert. My job is to be professional. I owe a duty to my client.
To the court.
If I'm your lawyer, Bubba, is this the way you want me to look?
Yes. Hold on. You are my lawyer, and that's what you do look like when we have important things to do.
Okay.
But Jay, if you sent that deposition with the because it's videoed,
it's
right?
Videoed.
So if you sent that deposition to the judge, what would the judge say? He'd be pissed.
I don't know today, but I tell you one thing is
Really?
if I had to show it to the jury, and the jury saw it,
I will tell you this.
It wouldn't go by them, I don't think.
Jay is so hands-on and worried about visual that when I was going against MJ, he was my lead counsel, him and Greg Herring, and we sat in Tom Bean's office with a suit guy, and they picked out my outfits.
Well, he wasn't comfortable in a tie, so we weren't going to put him in a tie, Seth, because that would have made him look unnatural, and he would have been very uncomfortable fidgeting for days. We were 3 weeks.
Were you trying to find a tracksuit that looked like...
Yeah, we weren't going to put Deion saying when he used to wear tracksuits that were mustard with like his Cazelle glasses. We didn't do that.
No, but Jay's like, listen.
We didn't Menendez him. We didn't put him in a pastel sweater.
No glasses or anything?
No.
It was Jay, Steve, and Tom. And we were over at across the street from Lemon when Tom had that big building. Remember that big one?
Of course I do, where we met after the Clear Channel thing.
Right, and Jay's like, listen, I got my guy. He's going to be in here, and we're going to pick you out like 3 or 4 different jackets, 3 or 4 different shirts, 3 or 4 different pair of trousers, shoes. I'm even going to tell you what socks to wear.
Well, and you just
Belt.
rotate through these,
Yeah. You just rotate through them.
I wear black, navy, or charcoal in trial, regardless. Single-breasted, white shirt, conservative tie, because I want the jury to listen to me, not to look at me and wonder, oh, I wonder how much that belt costs with the big G's on it. That's not the time to wear big G's when you're in front of a jury. You want them to know that you're clear, you're clean.
So when you got a guy like the guy that you had on, the guy that from the head of the firm, the J.D. Ocko of the other place.
Yeah.
And you've been with him for years and you've gone against him.
Respect him so much.
Can you ever, like, let's just say his name's Jim, okay? Can you ever, and you got a real good case, like you're on the right, like, maybe things are a little bit stronger for you than him. Can you ever say, like, in a friendly type way, Jim, we got you here, bud. Like, I mean, I know we're going to go to trial. You want to go to trial. You think this and that, but I got.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yes, that's how the conversation started yesterday.
Can you guys talk like that to each other?
Of course, and we've known each other for years, and we do talk like that to each other. And I literally just said, "Did you hear? Did you hear from the person who was wearing the hoodie how bad the depot went?" And you see it was like that kind of a thing. But we know each other really, really well, and so none of this is like antagonistic. This is the way real lawyering goes on. You have stuff that happens in the courtroom, and you have lawyers that respect each other that can have candid conversations afterwards, and we do. And he's a great guy. I can't tell you enough times.
Kevin Hazlett
what a great guy he is.
Kevin Hazlett has said it the best, and I know that you will certainly co-sign. He's like, trials are won from relationships and networks. That's where trials are won, through relationships and networks, relationships with your honor, relationships with your opposing counsel, relationships with bailiffs, relationships with but
also your client. If you don't, because one thing the great Steve Yerrid taught me when I was a very young lawyer is cases are about people. And so it matters who the person is. And so that's why you're a great defendant. Because when you're on the stand and you peel away all the layers of Bubba the Love Sponge and you just get to who Todd Clem is, and you see the difference and the sincerity,
it makes people, they're in shock.
You disarm them by telling the truth. And so that's what makes you an incredible witness.
They like me.
They do. Because guess what, Seth, before you knew Bubba, you hate him.
He hated me.
I mean, honestly, most people, Bubba, that's the way it worked.
Yeah, this whole
and
town.
You know him, and it's like, to know him is to love him. It's kind of like Danny. Danny is a really, like, the nicest Diaco of all of us. Got the biggest heart, the most misunderstood of any of us. And if you sit down and talk to him for 30 minutes, you're going to walk away and go, wow, that's a really sincere, smart man.
If you can tie him down for 30 minutes, because he's like a cat on a hot tin roof, that bitch is moving and shaking nonstop.
That's the truth.
From the Bubba Ultra 25.